Writing at a high level isn't for everyone. That's okay. Not all media needs to be hyper aware and thought provoking. You can have a series that's just entertaining and nothing more. And that's how I see Gachiakuta. It's a pop song, a mainstream darling. Nothing special. Everything that I liked about this series from the beginning never lived up to the hype. The ensemble cast and unique split between a mid 2000s inspired manga style and postmodern graffiti art was a visual draw up until around chapter 20, when almost all of the uniqueness evaporates into a generic battle shonen. The writing I never really enjoyed. Gachiakuta has been running for a year now, and it feels like maybe only half of that was actual content that mattered. Tone shifts are something that I bring up often and I do pay close attention to, but the jarring shifts in Gachi brings it down to levels far below mediocrity. The setups that come before don't amount to anything, and with a cast that spreads so thin, it makes it hard to differentiate most of the characters because they don't have unique personalities or abilities. And do I really need to talk about Rudo's talking down to that he got from Engine? To me, the freakout wasn't really out of place, and I didn't find it all that shocking, cause we already knew that Rudo had serious personality issues from before he was thrown into Detroit. We don't give a shit about that dirty giver thought that he beat down because she literally tried to kill the cleaners. And Engine's stupid talk with Rudo does nothing. His analogies make no sense. The thought, sent from the evil organization, just tried to snuff out your entire group. Why would anyone care about her well-being after she was stopped? Like, I get it, don't beat the hooker when you're done with her, this isn't GTA, but still, it didn't make sense. Why would the other cleaners give a damn about what Rudo did to her? This brings up a flaw about Kiurana's writing style that I've mentioned before. You expect me to believe that the supporting characters have never seen aggressive behavior like this before? In the Badlands, why would the cleaners care about what happens to an enemy? Every character's livelihood, reactions, well-being revolves around Rudo and what his actions are. If that's going to be the case, what's the point of an ensemble cast? Kiurana has been an author who I've been extremely critical of because I don't think they're actually writing what they want to. She's putting together a battle shonen based off of what she's worked on in the past and what she knows will attract a sizable audience, but those motivations don't mix well with the execution. Gachiakuta always hints at an exceptional plot point or introduces a character or setting that feels very fresh and bold, but then immediately kicks you in the jaw with utter nonsense and flat crescendos. I thought Amo was cringe. I didn't like the Marauders chapter. Team Baby was not only a bad way to reintroduce characters back into a story, but the humor was pure ass. Reflecting on the past year of this manga, it reads out of sequence. I don't really think Urana knows what she's doing several months out. That's okay, but Toriyama or Kubo are writers who can get away with making things up on the fly. If Urana is doing the same, which I strongly suspect that she is, then it's not working. Rudo being confronted by Zoldil Typhon, the leader of the Vandals, is super tropey and not something that the manga needed at this time. I was excited to see the first big bad of this manga, but Zoldil is such a deflating character. He's just as HX core as every other person in this series, but he's even more emotionless and dull than the rest of them. And the Jabber Zanka matchup is something that I think nobody wanted. I'm hoping to see these characters become more likable as Gachi goes on. As of right now, the series feels stale and reads twice as long as it actually is, with a third of the depth that I'd expect from a shonen mangaka with the sort of pedigree that Urana has. The art shows glimpses of excellence each chapter, but the framing and panels don't stand out as much as what was shown to us in the very early releases. I'm not seeing as much fanfare for the series today compared to 6 months ago. So, I don't know, maybe the collective feelings towards Gachiakuta is that it's a mid-series. It's entertaining, tropey, quickly paced, a mid-shonen series. Here's hoping for a much better second year. I doubt it though. 4 out of 10.